Magic Paintbrush, Chapter 12. Practice. In this case, did not make perfect. Amy lost track of time as she and Diego took turns with the paintbrush. They tried everything. Another attempt at ice cream produced soup, and not good soup, but a bitter, too fishy chowder full of hard white lumps. A pair of boots slithered out as flimsy as plastic wrap before disintegrating into powder. Diego tried his hand at headphones, which played nothing but high-pitched screaming, no matter whose phone they were connected to. The harder they tried, the wackier their results became. At the pinnacle of her frustration, Amy created a candle that exploded in her face, covering her with, thankfully cold, wax. "I think that's enough for today," she said, rubbing her eyes. Diego brushed candle wax from her shirt. "We're not making any progress, and I promised my grandma I wouldn't stay too long." "And I can come back with you," Diego said hopefully, "to meet Luna, and you can come back with me to meet Luna." The streets grew quieter as they walked toward Lau Lau's apartment. Amy carried 2 milk tea boba, one for Lau Lau and one for Luna, plus a big bag of pastries. Diego toted all the messed up creations. Neither was sure how they were going to explain them. "Yard sale?" Diego suggested. "More like art installment rejects," Amy said bitterly. "This stuff is too useless even for a yard sale." Diego nudged her. "Don't be upset. We have a magical paintbrush." I know," she said. It did seem silly to be mad when he put it like that. But she wanted it to work, to give her what she expected instead of twisting everything. "We'll figure it out," Diego said. He stopped walking. Amy turned. "Diego?" He'd frozen, his gaze fixed on something above her head. She spun back around to see what he was looking at, and screamed as the roof of Lau Lau's apartment exploded into smithereens. Debris filled the air. Amy scrabbled on the pavement, her eyes ringing. When had she fallen? Where was Diego? Had someone bombed the building? Had a gas line exploded? "Amy!" Diego shouted. He lay trapped by a piece of roofing, but he seemed all right. He was pushing it away, clambering up. Amy started toward him, her book bag thudding against her back, then stopped. Something loomed atop Lau Lau's apartment building. Inside Lau Lau's apartment building, now roofless and naked to the world. Something huge, something grotesque. A monster. She yanked Diego to his feet. Vaguely, she heard people shouting. Everything seemed muffled, confused. "Are you all right?" "I'm fine. Come on." He tried to pull her away from the building, which screeched as it wobbled. "No," Amy said. "My grandma. Luna." She tugged her hand from his. "Amy!" She sprinted into the teetering building. Plaster dust flooded her lungs, coated her skin and hair. Lau Lau's apartment door had collapsed off its hinges. Inside, her grandmother's precious art lay strewn across the floor. Shattered ceramics, snapped frames, crumpled paintings. "Lau Lau!" Amy shouted, coughing. But it wasn't Lau Lau she found. The monster emerged from behind a half-crumbled wall. Bricks tumbled from its massive head. The muscles on its back flexed, showing off jet-colored wings. Its red eyes focused on Amy. One giant fist reached out. "Leave her alone!" Lau Lau's cry cut through Amy's fear-fogged mind. She lay sprawled by the monster's tail, a dragonfly beneath a toad. "Amy, run!" But Amy couldn't move. "Monsters aren't real," her mind screamed. "This isn't happening. Monsters aren't real." The monster's claws drew closer, ready to snatch her up. Amy saw the ridges on its curved horns, smelled something sour, decomposing. She finally managed to step backward, but too late. It was far too late to run. Lau Lau staggered to her feet and lunged toward the overturned cabinets. "Here it is!" she yells. "Here's what you came for! Take it back to your master!" The monster stopped. Its great head turned. At first, Amy couldn't see what Lau Lau had lofted into the air. It was so small, so light. Then she recognized it. A paintbrush. With a roar, the monster charged at Lau Lau. Its claws closed around Lau Lau's middle. No! Amy's own voice was so thin, weak. The monster didn't even pause. It shot out of the ruins, straight into the sky, and with it, clutched tight, went Lau Lau.